reason you should shine. It gives you opportunity to even shine better, brighter, bigger. Your background is no reason why your back should be on the ground. I was born in Maiduguri in the northern part of Nigeria. And like I told you, my parents were CNS. At some point, my dad had to start a church in one village. No electricity, no running water. I did not see water closet that you can flush toilets. I did not see it until I was 13. That you could flush a toilet. In fact, when we got to a house that had that, me and my siblings, we were just flushing the thing and jumping down and saying, All I had known was pit. All I know. Even the church we had, of course, it was uncompleted, but that's the church we were going. I did not start sleeping on a mattress until I think I was 13 as well. It was on the floor. Today, we started our company with just 1,000 naira 14 years ago. We're in 4 continents of the world. We have offices in the US, in the UK, in Dubai, and 7 different offices in Nigeria. It tells you what God can do in a man if he or she can dare to stand out. Tell your neighbor, dare to stand out. Tap another neighbor, say, neighbor, I want you to dare to stand out. It doesn't matter what they say. It doesn't matter what the limitations. You can make it. There is no excuse whatsoever if you believe. So I want to share with you guys today 5 G's to stand out in life. 5 G's. Are you ready? Come on, I need your energy. Are you ready? Number 1 G is God. Everybody say God. God first. You and I can do nothing without the help of God. I always tell people this. Everybody is using something. If you don't use something, they will use it for something. I always laugh at people who live carelessly. Ordinary life. There are few mountains in Nigeria I have not gone to pray. The last person who pointed a gun at me, I told him to shoot. He ran. You must carry something. In this kind of country we are in, if you don't have God, hey, you are gone. You are gone. And you must know the God well, not the one that you must know him well. Because in the days of adversity, we have to defend you. Does that make sense? So if you will stand out, you must have God. If I put it here, I say God first. Everybody say God first. The Bible speaking in Genesis chapter 1 verse 1, it says, in the beginning, God. 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 God first. In the beginning, God. Everything great starts with God. Everything good starts with God. So if you want the blessing of the Lord that maketh rich and added no sorrow, you must have God. Because some people are busy going to drop rituals in the night. You are not doing that. Some people are busy doing all manner. And then this God, Christianity, you say you carry, you are not carrying it well. Hey, may they not use it for experiment. I thought I would hear louder, amen. Number 2, good news. Everybody say good news. And I call it good news merchants should be your friend. Anybody around me, you must have good news. I hate negative-minded people. No. You must carry good news. A client did business with our company, over 10 million. She called me one day. My friend just died. I said, yeah, my condolences. The next day, she called me again. Somebody just died. I said, madam, listen, they don't talk debt around me. They don't. I said, if it's because you did business with us, your 10 million will refund. Call the office now. We are refunding you. And we did. So, Rikini, you did business of 10 million every day, debt. You must regulate your environment. Right? Have good news merchants. Friends that when they call you, say, good news. Good news. Let me share this story with you. I've always reiterated it everywhere I go. The first time I wanted to be rich, I said I needed to become a millionaire. And I read that it's the company you keep determines what accompany you. Does that make sense? So that year I said, I will only have millionaire friends. Anybody can choose to say they want to be my friend. I don't look down on anyone. But the people I'll go and meet and say, be my friend, you must be a millionaire. This was 2008. Right? And I wrote down a check to myself. I wrote myself 1 million naira on one of my companies, another 1 million naira on another company. And I started looking for millionaire friends. By 2019, I did it. Right? I repeated the same process 2016. I wanted to be a billionaire. So I got this particular friend of mine. We attend the same church. And we started connecting. We moved to a new house and I invited him. How many of you believe January things are tight? How many of you? That, Kosovo, January, in Conley. Who is there? You are forming now because you are a Oriental Hotel. January, how many of you come and lay? Raise your hand now. Which one are you for me here? Because prophet has packaged all of us. Okay. So we were having dinner. My wife did chicken. And so I then said, January. The next thing said, good news. Guess what I want to say? January, bad month. But he went ahead of me and said, good news. He said 2 of our projects was just approved. One is 6.7 billion. The other is 4.5 billion. Hey. So he then opened his phone and started showing me alert. He said, the mobilization fee, you can't call it alert, it's alarm. It will blow your phone. I also had to change my story. I said, some things are happening this January. So remember the initial word was bad. That was the last January that was bad for me. Just because of the right company. In fact, I discovered a secret that time that because everybody else is broke in January, I save towards January. I buy more land in January. Because the person that I said I will pay 500 million, he says no, 1 billion or nothing. January, I will just dangle it. Are you still saying no? Are you saying no? Give. Because I met somebody who is a billionaire. You can't go higher than the quality of people around your life. 2 poor people cannot help themselves. One has to get to the top before he throws the rope to pull the other one up. Right? But if the 2 of you are poor together, you can't help yourself. And this was real when my mother was dying of ovarian cancer. Right? Like I told you, I say, and she went to all prophets for prayer. All manner of mountain. Her tummy just kept getting swollen and swollen and swollen. Hear this, because this will encourage many of you who like poverty. Do you know deep down, Africans hate rich people? Do you know that? They are not helping anybody. Deep down. But I was delivered when my mother was dying of cancer. So for 6 months, my mothers kept going to a teaching hospital. They couldn't diagnose. I said, doctor, they travel. In fact, one day she went with my brother, and I was, sick. They treated her with disdain. One day, her tummy was like a 9-month pregnant old woman. Her boss saw her and started crying. And said, even if it means we, the staff, we gather money, right, and pay for our diagnosis. Let's even diagnose what was wrong. So they took her to a co-hospital. And ladies and gentlemen, immediately what they couldn't diagnose for 6 months, in one day, they discovered was ovarian cancer. But it has spread. Right? 2 days after operation, my mother died. Guess how much was the entire medical bill? Diagnosis and operation. 500 and something thousand. That if we had done 6 months prior, maybe she would have still been alive. It was at that point I vow not to be poor again. I vow. Listen to me, it is dangerous to your health to be poor in this country. It is dangerous to your health. And may you not lose your loved ones before you know there's nothing to smile about poverty. There's nothing to like. There's nothing good about being poor. Are we together now? Are you learning? And if you will now be rich, you must begin to move with rich people. It's not going to be easy. They are not living your life. They are busy. It takes a while to get into... For a prophet to enter me... Listen, I'm not supposed to be in Nigeria. I came to Nigeria because of him. Right? And I charged $20,000. And I charged $20,000 to speak. But because of our relationship, I didn't take a dime. And I still flew down here. Right? So it's never going to be easy to build relationship with wealthy people. But that's where it begins. At least start by following them on social media. Start by reading their words so that you start thinking like them. Start by reading their books so that you understand how they think. Because if they were thinking like you, they will have still be as poor as you are. Obviously, they are thinking differently. So can I start thinking like them? Can I start seeing life like them? The Bible talks very powerfully about this. If you look at Proverbs 13:20, it says, he that walketh with the wise shall be what? Shall be wise. It says, but companions of fools shall be destroyed. I do not joke with relationship, quality one. I met Grant Cardone recently. Okay, it cost me over $100,000 every year to even maintain that relationship. $100,000 in Nigerian naira now. Dollar is messed up, right? It's a lot of millions just to keep relationship with people at that level. Am I making sense at all? But why did I meet him? I want to move from just being a billionaire in naira to being a billionaire in dollars. And he has done it. It's worth $8 billion. Okay? That's even more than your national budget. What the entire country has. One man has it. But the secret is to start being his friend. Think like he thinks. Learn what he's doing. Re-strategize what you two are doing. Are we listening at all? In Dubai, I live in Burj Al Arab, the tallest building in the world. And it was not by mistake. It was intentional. It was intentional. I wanted to meet certain kind of people. And if we are neighbors, it's easier. I may not have as much money as they do. Isn't it? But we are now neighbors. Is what? It's easier. That's why I moved there. We relocated our office, my house, everything here in Nigeria to Banana Island. It was intentional. It's not by mistake. At least the day you meet Dangote, they say, where do you stay? Say, I'm your neighbor. I say, okay, maybe so there's something worth proximity. Does that make sense at all? The environment you are in. The environment you are in. The environment you are in. The class of people you move with. Determine even how people see you. Are we learning at all? Number 3. Gifts. Everybody say gift. Turn your gift to a skill. Nobody pay you for your talent. They pay for your gift. No, they don't even pay for your gift. They pay for your skill. What is a skill? Skill is experience plus exposure plus hard work equals skill. The Bible speaking in Proverbs 18:16, it says, the gift of a man maketh room for him and gets him before who? Great men, before kings. It says, seest thou a man diligent in his business? He shall stand before kings and not what? And not mere men. But it's your gift that will what? That will bring such honor. Does it make sense at all? It is your gift. But don't leave it as gift. Train it. Make it better. Get exposure. Get exposure. We just acquired 54 acres in Dallas, Texas. And people say, why did you do that? I said, I can't, I'm irritated by the mediocrity of construction in Nigeria. Let's go and do it where it's better and even get better exposure. I will come and replicate it here, don't worry. Come and replicate it here. But the vision is global. We may have started locally, but it's a global what? Vision. All this small money and you are raising shoulders. Humble yourself and work harder. This thing is bigger. When I meet some of you, say, yeah, Dr. Steve, God has blessed you. I say, what are you talking about? Egbe Mini, Mark Zuckerberg. We have not started. Does it make sense? We have not what? We have not started. Somebody's worth over $50 billion. And then we have some few billion naira that when we change it to dollars, it will change to coins. And then you are carrying shoulder. There's more work. Success is not a destination, it's a journey. Standing out is not a destination, it's a journey. Every day, keep moving. Keep moving. Keep moving. Don't let your family members say, Boda, congratulations. We are moving forward. We've just started. We just started. We will redefine what it means to be rich. Does that make sense? And we will not do it locally. We will do it globally. Globally. Who is with me? Who is with me? Who is standing out? Who is standing out? Come on! Yes. Hallelujah. So please turn to a what? To a talent. To a skill. Everybody say, I will turn my gift to a skill. One more time. Number 4, grateful. Remember, we're talking about 5 G's to standing out. Grateful. Build a grateful nature. What is grace? Smoothness and elegance of movement. That's the meaning of grace. What's grace? Courteous goodwill. Courteous what? Goodwill. Learn to be graceful. Right? You did business with somebody, the business went bad, you need your money, you go on social media. Yamon, we will fight them to pieces. Be graceful. Tell your neighbor, be graceful, be graceful. We're about getting an office somewhere on the island. We made initial deposit of 10 million. Office, they no give us. 10 million, they no give us. And people say, let's fight. I said, the energy I'll be using to fight for 10 million, I will use it to make 1 billion. I don't have that time. Be grateful. When we start all these petty fights, let me tell you the secret to wealth. Peace. Everybody say peace. I don't care how much money you have. Once peace goes, the money is gone. Nothing is worth your peace of mind. I look at how we fight ourselves to pieces in Africa. I just shake my head. Don't we get it? Learn to be graceful. Be graceful. Be graceful. Forgive more. Nobody is perfect. Sometimes people come to me and say, do you know this person? And I'll say, well, one day I was somewhere. It was in the US. And this pastor, funny enough, he started with Redeemo. When he finished with Daddy Gio, if I had to ask him, I said, where's your restroom? He showed me, I went there and you know how you wash your face and rebaptize yourself? Because somebody has so pieces human being. So when I came out, I said, you know what? No human being is perfect, including Daddy Gio. So they said, hey, yeah, that's true, that's true. I said, you and I are not perfect. Thank you, God bless you. That's the last time I saw you. Don't be graceful. Sitting down and enjoying negativity about other people will never take you higher. You don't need to bring somebody down to get up. Those are poverty mindsets. Those are poverty mindsets. We all can fly. All of us. All of us. Without even knowing. All of us. People say, GTEx, your property is expensive. I say, yes. It's so that other people can sell the cheaper ones. We can't take the whole market now. We can't take the whole market. What do you mean by, we can't. So we are okay being expensive. There are other people who will take care of the cheaper market. The air is free. We all can fly. Be graceful. Tell your neighbor, be graceful. Be graceful. Everything, you don't carry everything to heart. One of the gifts I prayed to God, and I learned it from my own spiritual father, it's called largeness of heart. Everybody say largeness of heart. If you put everything in your heart, you won't go far. Ability to just let go. Ability to be courteous. Ability to even fight your enemy in a decent way. Does that make sense? Are you sure it makes sense? In a decent way. One day, I had somebody wanted to start for fights. Started even live show about me and our company. Right? Claiming we did not deliver one thing. I just told our media team, I said, you know where our plot is? They said, yes. Luckily, our name is on it. I said, take the picture of that and just put it on the social media. So as she started doing video, people were going to her page. But we saw your name. You know. She had to send message, delete it. I said, what do you mean by delete? I'm not fighting you. I'm just defending myself. Have some class. Have some class, even in fighting. Are we learning at all? Because when there is war, you won't build wealth. You won't build wealth. What's going on with Nigeria economy is because of the war. It takes peace for things to grow. Does that make sense? Tell your neighbor, peace. Come on. Say peace. Some of you don't like that. That's what you want. That's all of you are quiet now. Tap another neighbor. Say neighbor, peace. I hope you know that the way some of us are doing gragra is because we are in Nigeria. The day you leave Nigeria now, your skin will glow. Even your voice will change. I hope you know. All this, trouble out. You will calm down. This is not your nature. It's not your nature. God will change somebody's story tonight. Can I hear louder? Amen. I said, God is changing somebody's story tonight. In the name of Jesus Christ. Number 5. Get your general. Get your general. In fact, another words I put here say, get to serve a general to become one. Get to serve a what? A general to become one. There are many things I've seen in Nigeria, and if not for some of the generals in my life, they will have really messed me up. Even in business. Messed me up. Big time. Big time. Another word for that is get a mentor. Get a mentor. Get a mentor. If you don't have a mentor, you'll be tormented. Get a mentor. Does it make sense? Get a mentor. Somebody who is ahead of you in whatever profession, in whatever business, and go and be an apprentice. Recently, I realized that a lot of those I used to have as mentors, our business had grown beyond what they were doing. And some of what they were teaching was no longer relevant to the position of our business at that point. So as much as I ran to a Grant Cardone, I also looked for local people. I had to connect with Cosmos Maduka. Right? So that he can understand where I am. Does that make sense at all? And can give the required customized advice for the business. It makes sense. Sometimes I post some of my sessions with him on social media. I just sit down and I listen. Because somebody has done business for 40 years. You say, age is like vapor. It will soon go away. Some people have gone ahead. Humble yourself and learn from them. Does that make sense at all? And it's the reason business stopped. I had done almost 20 businesses that failed. I had Hawk Electronics, I had sold popcorn. At some point, I just felt it was spiritual. I don't know if you were witches of the... And I love what Big Bolaji said. Right? Some witches cannot stay where there is AC. You will see. As Genesis starts services here, I believe Genesis is starting a service in Oriental, right? You will see that the witches of your life, they won't follow you here. They won't. They are, like he said, they are lakuko, yeah. They are lakuko witches. But do you know, and I kid you not, since I became wealthy and started sleeping on good foams, I no longer have nightmares. I'm not, my nightmares used to be so strong. Sometimes lion that is changing me, sometimes. As my story changed, no more nightmares. Some of you, you just need good environment, good bed, good house. It's the environment. Because I don't like walking in the night. Go to Dubai. Night will be your favorite time. Will be your favorite time. It's because there's no street lights. Are we learning at all? Tell your neighbor, get a general, get a general, get a general, get a general. If it takes you too long to get something, your network is poor, change them. Change them. How can everybody around you be poor? How? Your bank balance is the average of 5 closest people to you. I hope you know that. Go and check what's in your account now. Then call 5 closest friends to you. Ask them. Elolo ala account. You see that it's the average. It's the average. So if you want to move from where you are to the next level, what do? Just start changing. So you change with your colleagues and you change with those who are ahead of you. What does it take to get a mentor? Number one, honor. Everybody say honor. Don't see somebody who is ahead of you, even if you are age mate or older than them. If they have more results than you, show some honor. Are you listening to me now? This age you people are dragging, they don't use it to collect money in the bank. If you go in bank, so show some what? Some honor. Why? Very soon. That's the same thing people will do to you. This life is turn by turn as long as you pay the price. Just honor those who are ahead of you. That's one of the biggest secrets of my life. Just honor. People ahead of you, show the honor. How do you honor them? With gifts, with words. There is no rich man in my life, and I'm not kidding you, that I've connected with, that I've collected a dime. I'm the one giving them something. I'm talking of people richer than I do. Way, way richer. I'm talking of people who are extremely richer than I do. When I go meet them, I come with a gift. That scripture that says the gift of a man creates room. It's not just gift of talent. It's the gift of what you give. And it's not about the quantity. I was in Ondo State. Was it yesterday or the day before yesterday? The governor invited us to train on entrepreneurship. I still went with a gift for the governor. I don't have an estate in Ondo and I'm not planning to do one. But you must just understand that people who are even ahead of you are the ones you should start giving to. Because there's a spiritual flow. They carry something already. There's a grace. In Africa, everybody I know there's nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that. But how about you seeing yourself as I carry some value? It may not be money. It may be a portrait. A young lady, planned my arrival in Akure and did a portrait ahead of my coming. Of course, not only did I pay for the portrait, I did a whole campaign to promote her and ask people to do business with her. That's a smart one. You have something. Tell your neighbor, you have something you can exchange. You have something. All this poverty mindset of I'm poor. Poverty is a state of the mind. Everybody has something. Everybody has something they can offer. Everybody. I don't care who you are here. You have something I don't have. You have something I need. You just need to look inward and think better of yourself. But you have something. I'll never forget this story by Daddy Gio. He was preaching one day and he said, my son just died. The interpreter kept quiet. So Daddy Gio had to repeat it again. He said, I said, my son just died. Baba no Oluwa ni pe. You know, he was really scared to say it. And he said, this son is so dear to me. So dear. He said, anytime I go to London, he makes arrangements for my laundry, for my food, for my logistics. He said, this last time I visited London was in the hospital. And I was praying for him. He was busy asking me, sir, hey, Bola-in-law. He said, no, just get well. So I was just saying this to myself, just get well. He said, as soon as I left the hospital, he had called his friends again to do the same thing he used to do for me. Now, that Joe was trying to tell something, but guess what? My brain paused on that word and said, Daddy Gio needed laundry in London. I don't know how you understand what I'm talking about. Is that possible? But somebody thought of it and started making himself useful to the point that Joe adopted him as a son. Are we learning at all? If you can just be thoughtful, more thoughtful, you will walk with great men. You will attract great mentors. If you can just think from the perspective of, I carry something. And I tell people, they say, why is it that all the people who are your mentor, who are richer than you give them something? I said, because I want the relationship to be respectful. Am I making sense at all? I don't want them to see me like a parasite. Anytime I come, I say, I want to see you, sir. It's not like, today. Am I making sense at all? It should be a mutually beneficial relation. This is how we build wealth, oh. Ladies, this is how we build wealth. Some of them eventually gave me more than more money can give me, but I was the first to reach out and say, I don't want to start this relationship as a parasite. So I want you to tap your neighbor and say, neighbor, look at me very, very well. I'm not a parasite. I'm ready to start a mutually beneficial relationship. You win. You win. I win. Say it again. You win. I win. You win. I win. Louder. You win. I win. One more time. You win. I win. Come on. Make it louder. If you are going to be wealthy, like 1 Timothy 2:2 says, and the things that thou hast heard of me amongst many witnesses, the same commit thou to what? Faithful men who are able to teach others. Talking about mentorship. Luke 6:12 says, and if ye are not faithful in that which is another man's, who will give you that which is your own? As I begin to close, this standing out begins with you helping other people to stand out. Does that make sense at all? This standing out begins with what? You helping other people to what? To stand out. If you will not be faithful in other people's vision, look at me, I travel all the way down for another man's vision. Change my itinerary for another man's vision. Because your prophet want to see wealthy members. Does that make sense? Okay? He wants to see that you guys become blessed and wealthy. That's why he went through all of this. You have no clue what it costs to put this together. It's not less than 30 million to put this together. Because I do events. Right? But just because of you, are you not that special? Come on, tell your neighbor. I'm so special. Just for you. Just for you. But if this thing will continue, You must be willing to be faithful in that which is another man's. You must be willing to be faithful in this ministry that has brought you so much. Are we together now? You must be willing to be what? To be faithful. If you are not faithful in that which is another man, who will give you your own? I cannot claim somebody is my friend and then sit down and we rubbish them. No. That's not how to stand out. I cannot say somebody is my friend and then we sit down and begin to talk so much negativity as if we don't have our own. That's not how to stand out. If you are even going to stand out, you will say, I want to be the solution to the problems. I want to be what? The solution to the problem. I'm going to wrap up with this story. I started our company 14 years ago. It was a bulk SMS company. And we started with 1,000. A particular fellowship gave us 700. They wanted to send a campaign. So I added 300 to it. So they were doing a conference or something. So I went to somebody else's website. I didn't even have a website. And then I bought bulk SMS of 1,000 naira and helped them to send it. I didn't even have a laptop. From there, I owned my own website. From there, I started helping other people to what? To have their own website to do bulk SMS. From there, I started consulting for multinational, Chivita, MTN, PZ. In 2015, every SMS you got, virtually every SMS you got from any political party came from our company. Right? We grew that big. But again, I had to say to myself, what is the next level? We're now the biggest. So I went to Silicon Valley. And I saw Google campus. I saw Facebook campus. And I saw what can be done with real estate. And I came back to Nigeria and said, we're starting this real estate. But hear this. The first estate we had was another man's 250 acre. And he gave us 50 acre out of it. It is the faithfulness in that 50 acre that has given us over 30 estates today. Right? Money is not your problem. Faithfulness is the problem. Money is not your problem. Loyalty is the problem. Money is not your problem. Finding a cause worth standing by and defending and be loyal at it is the problem. Ultimately, if you will practice these 5 G's that I've given you, and you will add faithfulness in another man's business, where you work, be faithful. Èèyàn san salary oní kò tó, ó ṣàṣe kan. Be grateful. Some people don't have a job. You will sit down and pieces your boss's business and say all manner. He may not be perfect, so as you are not perfect. But you be faithful and God will even give you a better, bigger business. And how to even do it in a better way. Please and please, let us be faithful. I want to beg you, in this vision that prophet has started, and it was quite innovative, to say, there's nothing wrong. Come with your sultana. Come with your normal attire if you don't want to. Off your shoe. Wear your shoe. It is Jesus we are serving. If you are not faithful in defending this mission, who will give you your own? Right? The day they are talking about it, you are the one to stand and say, no, my prophet is innovative in this. It's innovative. Ultimately, what many of you don't know, Redeem started this way. You must cover your hair. You must do this, you must do that. And that Gio said, you know what? Let's have classical and let's have what? Model. Today now, is there a difference anymore? I don't know one now. Am I making sense at all? So if somebody decides to rise as a general in his generation, as a general in the movement of Celestia, you want to stand and be faithful in defending that movement. Because ultimately, guess what will happen? You will start attracting MD-CEOs. You will start attracting billionaires. You will start attracting some of the speakers they are bringing today. If it was in Alakuko, they won't come. Right? And as your church come to this area, what will happen? You too start thinking that Mole ni le ni VI. Mole ra le ni Lekki. Àwọn tó ń ṣe wọn lórí méjì. This is a movement. And if you can be faithful with it, you will be the first beneficiary. Thank you for having me. God bless.